name is Sharice Johnson Moore, and today we are having this Author's Excerpt Sunday, okay? Author's Excerpt Sunday. I want to talk about this book behind me. This is my book. And I just wanted to let you know that it is available Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Goodreads. Is also in paperback and ebook form. Okay? So, and you also can get it on my website at www.sharicenjohnsonmoore.com. Okay, I have been using Restream all day, so I want to let you know that, hey, welcome to my broadcast. How are y'all doing today? I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. Okay, so when I decided to write this book, I wanted to write it because I wanted to help somebody else. I wrote this book. The name of the book is entitled Coming and Loving Yourself, and it's by me, Sharice Johnson Moore. And I wanted to write this book to help other young ladies and men, and maybe, and young children and young teenagers, and help them understand that no matter what they've been through, I've been through a lot in this book, okay? And when I tell you this, my story is a place of being lost. I was lost. I was like out there doing all kind of stuff. And when I decided to write this book, it had how could I say this? It had been a time in my life where my loved ones were passing away on me, going to be with the Heavenly Father. And due to their deaths, it kind of gave me a wake-up call, because the first person that passed was my grandmother. My grandmother raised me from a child, and I've been with her all my life. And the thing is, during that lifespan, that I dealt with abandonment, I dealt with self-doubt, I dealt with insecurities, I dealt with the thoughts of why didn't my parents want me. I dealt with a lot of issues. I dealt with a lot of self issues. And the thing is that when you, how can I say this, have these doubts growing up, you don't know who you can really get to talk to, really have a meaningful, existence with, outside of the parameters of your parents. And, and the thing is that sometimes we take those self-doubts into our adulthood, and we take our pain into our adulthood. We take our anxiety of what we didn't get in our childhood into our adulthood. And the thing is that death can be, we can look at it as a positive or a negative. Depends on how you look at it. And my grandmother passed November 2011. Okay, I was like, okay, Lord, what should I do? What should I do with the rest of my life now? I don't have her in my life. And because she was my everything. And after she passed, I decided to do something else with my life. Okay? Decided to do something else totally different. And in the book, I speak about that. And during that time, it was like a wake-up call. It's like a wake-up. Have you ever had this tremendous, like, light bulb moment go off? And before she died, she was placed in hospice. And I I took care of her during that time of her in hospice for the 2 weeks we had left, the 2 weeks that she was with me till she passed. And the thing was, it was like, okay, what should I do now that she's gone? And my grandmother was is my father's mother. Okay, so I'm being raised by my father's mother and his dad. And the thing is that sometimes in life we get to this point where when we lose that loved one, we don't know which way to go. But during those 2 weeks of taking care of her, um, during those 2 weeks, it woke me up to a new way of living, a new way of understanding that God did not place me there for no reason. He placed me there for a reason. And that was how to learn to take care of other sick individuals. So I had this cousin, and my cousin, I called her over. I didn't know, didn't know what to do in that process. She's a CNA. So in that process of taking care of her for those 2 weeks, my cousin came over and taught me how to take care of her, how to bathe her, how to give her medicine, how to, keep her spirits up. And even though they say in that period of hospice, it's a time of them really shutting down. Things shut down slowly in a time of passing. It shuts down. Body shuts down in that. My grandmother had a heart attack, so that's how she ended up on hospice. And so the thing was, I said I'm gonna go ahead and take care of her. Um, before this happened in my life, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I just was doing all kind of stuff. I had a job and working in the fire watch and working in the shipyard and things like that, and trying to find other jobs to do, working at Piccadilly's, things like that. Okay. And during that time, I was just that time before she time before she passed, or time before she had her heart attack, I was just doing whatever, trying to on survive mode, doing whatever I could to survive. And so her purpose in that 2 weeks, where God spoke, God taught me a lesson. God taught me, okay, learn how to take care of other sick individuals. So my grandmother passes. Okay, that's a time of like, okay, Lord, what should I do? She's not here with me right now. She's not here. She's not with me anymore. Okay, so in this book, I speak about abandonment issues. I speak about not feeling loved enough, not feeling cared enough about as a child, the fears that why my parents did not want me. In this book, I talk about arrangement of topics, from child abuse to, just a range of topics. I've dealt with a lot of stuff in my life, and I was carrying that pain around, and I was in my teens. And I did not want to. I just kind of gave up on life because it was like in my teens, I kind of went through this thing of being promiscuous and thinking everybody wanted me because I was pretty. Oh, you look so nice, and this, that, and the other. And I kind of believed them. So the thing is that during this course of this life, I tell you about the story. But the changing moment is, like I said, my grandmother had a heart attack, take care of her, and then she passes. Then it gets to the point where I turn around, and maybe 3 years later, my father passes. And he passes away from a heart attack at his home. And I was informed. And that kind of like, wow, like how much can I take? How much can I take in that time frame of being that I'm losing these people. I'm losing them. And then I do. How can I say it? I'm doing this. I'm like you know. So in the time frame, my grandmother passed and my father passed, I decided to go to nursing school, get myself together, take my CNAs, go to class, do everything, and then I got a job as a living caregiver. During that time, um, my father passes where I'm at doing this living caregiver job. So he passes away. Go to his funeral. Okay, all right. Excuse me. And the thing is, it's like, what else can you throw at me, Lord? What else can you throw at me? At the time, I was living in Virginia. So then I decided, okay, since I got this degree, and my father passes, I decided to, like, okay, I work for these people, work for them for about a year, and I decided I want to move back to Uniontown, Pennsylvania. So I moved back January 2015, and soon as I get to Uniontown, Pennsylvania, I get this call from my sister in Detroit about my mother. And my mother, me and her talked and everything, and she had told me that she had cancer. My mother had been diagnosed with cancer. And I had just found out maybe 5 months, 5 months before I moved back to 5 months before I moved back to Uniontown, Pennsylvania. And the thing is that as soon as I get back here, I get this call talking about, we just want to let you know that mama's gone. I said, wait a minute, Lord, okay, really, you can't be just throwing these at me like this, And when I got that news and I got off the phone with got off the phone with my sister, it did something to my spirit. Have you ever been crushed? Have you ever had this crushing feeling, this crushing moment in your life where you feel like, oh my God, what else is going on here? I can't deal, I can't fathom, I can't go through all those things that is going on in my life. Hello, hi, how are you doing? Hello. Hi, Tanisha Blues. How you doing? Hi, thank you for coming into my broadcast. And the thing is that when you go through these crushing moments, God has an awakening for you at the end of the crushing. And so I went to my mom's funeral in Detroit, Michigan. Me and my sisters, we all were there, my brothers and everything on my mom's side, and nieces and nephews and things. And that's when I seen my mom laying in the casket, it was like a rush of emotions, a rush of letting all these emotions go, letting all these emotions just come out. And I couldn't even really, I could say this, I couldn't even really walk to I really couldn't. I had to pause for a minute before I saw her in the casket. You know how you get the preview, they done the body all up and everything. And during that time, I just let it all hang out. Have you ever had a moment where you just let it all hang out, regardless of what's going on, regardless of if anybody's watching, regardless of, you don't care whose opinion says what, when, how. You really don't care. You got this I don't care moment, and it's really like, these are my emotions, and I'm gonna let them go, and I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with. Okay, so we have our funeral. We talk, me and my sisters and them. We talk and everything and whatnot, and it's funny how when you have these deaths in your life, you have a moment of clarity. And the moment of clarity is that sometimes God is trying to tell you something. God's trying to tell you something in that moment that he wants you to either conquer. He wants you to get over your fears. He wants you to conquer your fears. He wants you to conquer your emotions. He wants you to conquer your mindset. He wants you to conquer a lot of things that you didn't really want to face about yourself. Sometimes that's how death sometimes does that to some people. You have a moment of grief. You have a moment of, oh, I wish I had done things different. Lord, can you just trade places? I did that with my grandmother when she passed. And Lord, if you just give me, one more chance with her, and and I do things different, and like I said, after my grandma passed, me and my father really started getting close because my father wasn't really there for me in my life until later on, like in my teen years. But the thing is that there's so many things that go through your mind, like, okay, after grandma passed and then my dad's there, and then it's like, okay, maybe I could do things different. My dad, me and him start talking. And as soon as we get close, he passed away. But then my mom, it's like I just talked to her. It's like I just talked to her. I started talking to her more and more and more. And I realized she had some surgery on her throat and stuff like that because she had cancer in her throat and it metastasized to her brain. And it made me cry. It made me like, oh, I wish I had more time. And like I said, these 3 deaths changed my life. So when I got back to Uniontown after my mom's funeral, I turned around and started writing this book. And this book, I had to free myself. That was the moment of clarity. I had to free myself. And sometimes we do things that we're trying to hide the pain. We're trying to hide the stuff that we used to do. We want to reinvent ourselves, which I went into a metamorphosis of that after my mom died. I mean, after those 3 deaths, I had a whole moment of clarity. I said, well, at first, I said, I'm write this book, and I'm gonna make a living off my book. Okay, it was about money at first when I wrote this book. And God spoke to me one day and said, no, it's not about the money. It's about the things that you can share to save somebody else's life when you share your story. And share your story, I do. Because you don't know what kind of pain people are carrying around, the luggage that they carry. I had a whole suitcase. I had a whole set, okay? I had a whole set of luggage that I was carrying around with me about the issues I had been through in my life. And it was like just like it was a free your mind moment. It was a free your mind when I finally got this book finished. I finally finished writing, finally copyright. I finally did all the things that I had to do to get this book printed. And the thing was, I looked at myself and I said, ooh, I've accomplished something good. Have you ever been in a place where that that you're so busy doing stupid stuff, and then you try something good and you really don't think it's good, you really don't think it's positive, you really don't think you will get validation from other people. But my thing is, I had to learn during this process, it's not about the validation. Validation does not count. I had to come to that conclusion. It's not about being validated by anybody. It is about seeing my own self-worth, seeing I can accomplish these things. I want to accomplish these things. So, and this thought came to my head one day. I said, it would be nice if I started a group. And I do have a private group. If you'd like to join my private group, it's called Coming and Loving Yourself. It is a group where we talk about issues that is shared in the group. It's private. Whatever we say in the group is private. There's no repeating, no gossiping, no, that's the requirements of my group, Coming and Loving Yourself. We talk about all the topics that some people don't want to talk about out loud, but they can talk about in a group setting that is private. So I do have that group. It's entitled Coming and Loving Yourself. It's on Facebook. And if you would like to join, please join us. And it frees your mind. Sometimes we need an outlet. Sometimes we might need a therapist. Sometimes we might need our clergy. We might need our pastors, our prophets, our apostles. We sit down and we talk to them. And when you sit down and talk with people, you find out if they can keep their mouth closed. Okay. So that was an issue, that why I wasn't sharing any of my stuff with folks, because I've had that done to me where I share stuff with people and they go off and tell everybody else. Okay. But anyway, I digress. This book, if get it for your daughters, get it for your sons. I had a male friend of mine read this book. A male friend of mine ordered this book. And he was telling me about how now, since he's read this book, that his significant other had been through the same thing that I had been through in my life. And now he says he has a better understanding of why his wife acts the way she acts when she acts like that. Okay? This book will give you clarity. It could open your eyes to so many things of why people act the way they do and what they do, when they do it. Okay? Because your upbringing has a lot to do with how you do in your adult life. And one topic I'm gonna get on, and one topic I'm gonna talk about is not having a father figure in my life. This is for any man or any woman. When we don't have our fathers in our lives, men, I'm telling y'all something, that does something to us. We don't have any, we are not going to have any inclination of what kind of man we're supposed to be looking for if we don't have fathers in our lives. We don't have fathers. They're not participating. It's not about money. It's about being in a person's life. Let's get that straight. Everybody want to talk about child support. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actually being in a person's life, actually participating in their life. Okay, go to the plays, go to the school plays, go help them with the homework, take them to the sports events, spend some time with them, take them out, talk to them, sit down, have a conversation, with your children at a. Sometimes we even me, I've had to learn this, okay? Because what I learned in my childhood, I passed down to my children, okay? And what I passed down to my children was I did them like my parents did me. I was not a good mother, but I decided after these deaths, I wanted to do something different in my life. I said, okay, it's time for me to get myself straight. I had to go and ask for forgiveness for my kids. I had to go and ask for, I had to go and do a lot of different things in my life. And when you come across that, that you want to do something, well, okay, look, I know my parents treated me like that. So, sometimes we, like I said, pass that down to our children. Well, we're not in their lives. We're not active. We're not doing anything with them. We come, we go, and that was something I had to straighten out on a personal basis between me and my kids. My thing is, when we don't have fathers in our lives as women, we do not have the inclination of how we're supposed to be approached by a man, how we're supposed to be approached by a young man of our age. Because fathers are there to teach us about boys, about what to do, what not to do, how to interact with other young men, how we're supposed to interact with other people around us, and they're supposed to be our teachers. So, my thing is, and mothers, when you're not in a young girl's life, I'm gonna talk about mothers now. When you're a mother and you're not in your child's life, you're not teaching them from the boys' aspect, you're not teaching them how to deal with women. You're not teaching them how to deal with women, how to interact with women, how to interact with young ladies. We're not teaching them that. And when it comes to the girls, we're not teaching them how to be young ladies. We're not teaching them, okay, young ladies will be nice, pretty, and get an education. Because I had that interaction with my granddaddy. He always was an advocate for education, but I didn't heed the warning. So, but now I understand because I'm older. When we have those young ladies, we got to teach them how to present themselves and be ladies and be cordial and be presentable And it's just that way. That's that role of the mother. Role of the mother is to come in and teach we're supposed to teach the children how to interact with other kids, and we're supposed to, parents, we're gonna just say the parents are supposed to teach our kids how to interact with one another and other kids in their neighborhood, or how to just go through life, how to interact, how to become somebody. You have to teach them by your examples. And sometimes our examples are not good. Sometimes examples are good, sometimes they're not. And sometimes God gives you second chances to get these things right. So I'm going to read okay. I'm going to read. I used to be married. I'm going to just go into this story. I used to be married. Okay, this is another little. This I talk about my marriage in this book. I used to be married before, and the thing is that that's a topic in itself. Okay, that's a relationship topic, and I think I'm gonna talk about that tonight on our Think About It. Think About It Sunday episode, relationships. And so y'all see me later on tonight, maybe about 9 o'clock for that segment, for Think About It Sunday. And that topic will be relationships. So I want you to go out, Amazon, Goodreads, Barnes and Nobles, paperback, ebook, available in both forms, and you can get it on my website. The book is $12.50. Okay, $12.50 across all platforms. Okay, and I know everybody's on a budget. Okay, people on a budget. So I'm doing this promotional for the next 6 months for $12.50 for this book. And when you come to my website, you can get the ebook for $1. That's right, I said it, $1, $1. $1 ebook for $1. Okay. So I think that's really, I know we're on a budget. Yeah, everybody's on a budget. That'll be a 6-month promotional. Now, I also want to let you know this CD here is a giveaway to a lucky winner. Whenever you come in, I pick a lucky winner to receive this CD by my best pastor and friend, Pastor Derek Tynes, out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Okay. And I wanted to also support him because he has been my inspiration. He's been my go-to person of keeping my eyes open and never shutting the door, never shut a door where God has opened. And I wanted to just let you know this CD is a gospel CD. It is entitled We Shall Overcome. And I wanted to let you know that it is a giveaway to a lucky viewer in my live feed, my live broadcast, all across all my across all my programs. Morning Word and Worship, Let's Talk Sunday, Think About It Sunday, and Author's Excerpt Sunday. So I wanted to let you know I will be picking a lucky winner to receive out of each broadcast I do, a lucky winner to receive this CD. Yes, it is a powerful CD, and I'm gonna come on tomorrow and let you have a taste of what this CD has on it. It is entitled "We Shall Overcome Someday." Pastor Derek is a brilliant composer, a brilliant source of inspiration, and he is active in a lot of activities in Pittsburgh. He is, and him and his mother have a church in Clariton, and called Living Waters Ministry, and her name is Bishop Thelma Mitchell out of Clariton, Pennsylvania, and they have a program that is set up They do their live programs. They do their the live church on live feed. Okay, Pastor Derek and him and his mother and Sister May and some other members have the church they have church on Facebook. Okay, so if you ever get on Facebook, look up Derek Hines or Bishop Thelma Mitchell, and you can catch the live feed on Facebook for church, for Living Waters Ministry. Okay, like I said, this is a giveaway. It's a giveaway, a CD giveaway for one of my lucky viewers in the broadcast. So I will contact you personally. Contact you personally, and I will get your information, and the lucky viewer will receive this CD in the mail. Okay, for coming in the broadcast. So you want to spread the word, everybody, that I'm having a giveaway. Okay, I love y'all, and I want you to have a blessed evening, and get your book today. Sharice Johnson Moore, Coming to Loving Yourself, and we'll talk again next Sunday. I love you, and y'all have a blessed evening. Bye, babies.